In Mass Effect 2, the team at BioWare have created characters in a world where you as the player can have genuine empathy for whatever is going on in the lives of your squad mates, your crew, and all of the citizens of the galaxy you have the opportunity to interact with. In the Legendary Edition of Mass Effect 2, complete with all the DLC, there are hours and hours worth of stories to experience. Each one of them will leave you wanting just a little bit more. The first Mass Effect gave us a small glimpse into the lives of the various individuals in their respective races across the galaxy. From humans to Elcor, Asari to Quarian, each with their own needs, concerns, likes, dislikes, and place in the universe. All of the races represented in the game come with rich lore, and in a game such as Mass Effect, it can be a challenge to flesh out each of the races represented. However, the team at BioWare did a superb job by having Commander Shepard recruit and assist a diverse group of people who join him or her in taking on the Collectors in Mass Effect 2. Playing through the Mass Effect trilogy in order has opened my eyes to this natural progression of storytelling that I can only assume is very intentional. In the first Mass Effect, we're given an introduction to the world that we all fell in love with, complete with good guys, bad guys, and a culture that makes BioWare's version of the galaxy wholly unique. The Reapers are really only hinted at, and you're given hope that they can be destroyed when Sovereign, a single Reaper, is destroyed by Commander Shepard and the ships in the galaxy with only minimal damage to the Citadel, and though there is a significant loss of life, nothing like there could have been. We're left assuming Mass Effect 2 is going to begin with Commander Shepard continuing his or her journey to fight the Reapers. However, in the first 20 minutes of the game, our minds are blown and everything goes in a completely different direction after a foe that seems a little bit more manageable, but still incredibly menacing. In the original Mass Effect, we get to know Dr. Liara T'Soni. She's an Asari researcher whose focus is on the ancient race of Protheans. She spent most of her early life digging through old ruins, trying to find out more about the Protheans. She's an invaluable party member in the first game who finds herself stuck now working a desk job as an information broker. Why? She has debts to pay off. In Mass Effect 2, through the entirety of the campaign, Liara is mostly absent. However, when you visit her, you do learn a lot more about the Asari people and their way of life, from police officers to transportation experts. You then recruit Samara, an Asari Justicar, and you learn more about why the Asari find mates outside of their own species. It draws you in and helps you have a greater understanding of their incredibly sophisticated, complicated culture. My Commander Shepard, through my playthrough of the Legendary Edition, had a relationship with Liara, and in Mass Effect 1, she was always on my squad once I had her on the team. Her biotic abilities played a crucial role in each of the missions to stop Saren. Seeing Liara stuck behind a desk and not questing around the galaxy was frustrating. I wanted her on my team. And Commander Shepard was equally as frustrated, trying to get Liara to join us back on the Normandy. If you've never played Mass Effect 2, just a tip for you. Play through the entire campaign and then immediately jump into the Lair of the Shadow Broker DLC to see more of Shepard's friendship or romance continue with Liara before moving on to Mass Effect 3. The Asari aren't the only race you get to know more about, as you're finally able to land on the desolate planet of Tuchanka for the first time. As you bond with this Krogan squadmate, Grunt, Shepard, and by extension you, the player, learn more about the impact that the genophage has had on the Krogan, and even more importantly, what it means to be a Krogan and why they are so battle-bent from the time they're young. In Mass Effect 2, you also begin to see the ripple effect of the choices and consequences from actions in the first game. I remember the very first time I played Mass Effect on the Xbox 360, Urdnot Rex died in my original playthrough. Ashley shot him. Seeing Rex alive and well in my Legendary Edition and introducing him to Grunt was a treat, and such a unique experience after that first playthrough. I recommend that everybody play through the trilogy once without guides or walkthroughs or tips or hints to see how the world evolves based upon you doing what you think is right. However, years later, it's just as fun to play through the trilogy, seeing the outcomes I had only heard about in the past. In Mass Effect 1, there are options to progress the story, but they're pretty limited. And in 2, everything is just blown wide open with lots of choices. Commander Shepard is given free rein to combat the Collectors as he sees fit, only given guidance by the elusive man in Cerberus to take care of a few missions here and there as you build up your team. You're granted a few tiny details on who you're recruiting and given code names like the Scientist or Archangel or the Krogan. You don't know who these characters are and if you've even met them before. Part of the discovery I enjoyed was jumping into a mission and discovering who I'm going after and what Commander Shepard is going to need to convince them to do to join this very dangerous mission. It's through this recruiting process that you begin to discover more about the world, the characters, and what life is like in BioWare's fictional Milky Way galaxy. Typically, when a sequel is made for something, the goal is to make it better than the first, but we know that that is not the case with games or movies all the time. Mass Effect 1 is universally lauded as a great game, so the pressure was on for BioWare to create a sequel that could surpass the original. And I do believe that they succeeded in this, but there are a few things that they compromised to make the game more accessible to everyone. It's obvious, given the changes that BioWare made to a few critical gameplay systems, that they wanted to make the game more easily accessible and enjoyable to mainstream gamers who were big fans of action shooters like Halo, Call of Duty, or Gears of War. The combat was overhauled completely. Now, I like how it feels in Mass Effect 2, and I noticed what they tried to do with the Legendary Edition of Mass Effect 1 was make it more like 2. And it's good. I had a great time with it. However, for everything they did to improve it, they took something special away. As an RPG, I sorely missed weapon and armor customization. Your weapons just kind of did what they did. You could not make alterations to them. I missed elemental damage in the armor that was designed to do something very specific. Another trade-off was how powers work in the game. As a biotic in Mass Effect 1, I constantly had Shepard and his or her teammates fire off attacks one after the next in a barrage of biotic blue. However, with the new universal cooldown for every power at once, you lose a lot of that, focusing only on one or two abilities for Shepard based upon what's mapped to the controller. For me, Warp and Shockwave, that was it. Maybe a Singularity once in a while off the power wheel. The emphasis turned to real-time combat, which is for many a much more fluid and fun experience. The trade-off's fine, I'm not mad about it, okay? But I truly do miss the old system. Let me offer one more quick frustration before I get back to gushing about the game. Again, the goal was to make the game more approachable to a broader audience, which impacted more than just the gunplay. Your character development and skill tree lost depth. In Mass Effect 2, Shepard can hack everything, so you don't need to think about who you even bring with you in your party. Things that you would have in Mass Effect 1 or maybe even Dragon Age Origin when it comes to unique classes are gone. They're just not around in Mass Effect 2 and 3. With all that being said, it really does not detract from what Mass Effect 2 is and wants to be. And as a fan of RPGs, I was more than satisfied. Some of the combat and gameplay mechanics were adjusted to be more approachable. The writing, the voice acting, the animation, the music, everything else, it improved leaps and bounds over the original. One of the significant challenges for the Legendary Edition of the remaster was bringing Mass Effect 1 in line with 2 and 3. Because in Mass Effect 2, you're given a much deeper color palette, with neon orange being prevalent everywhere. From the planet of Omega back to the Citadel, Mass Effect 2 is a visual treat, particularly in the much more detailed character models that help each of the individual races stand apart. Morden Solus, one of the characters you recruit for your mission, looks distinct from the other Solarians. These kinds of touches to detail are evident throughout the whole of the game. There is detail where detail is needed. One of the best things is that the Paragon and Renegade system has been expanded, building upon the ideas that were taken from Knights of the Old Republic with the light side and the dark side of the Force. In Mass Effect 2, Commander Shepard can take specific actions in the middle of a scene that would correspond with what's going on in the story and whether or not it would be a Paragon action or a Renegade action. These are essentially one-button QuickTime events to keep you engaged during some of the longer dialogue sequences. Triggering these actions causes Commander Shepard to act in a specific way befitting the type of Shepard you're trying to play. I love this addition because it makes your Shepard more expressive, adding action to what in Mass Effect 1 were just typically dialogue choices. I want to do what Paragon Shepard would do, or maybe you want to do what Renegade Shepard would do. Either way, you can express yourself just a little bit more. Now, I had a thought about the inevitable Mass Effect 4 or 5, whatever they call it. What if your actions got options? Commander Shepard could do this, or Commander Shepard could do that based upon your choices. That would be awesome. Now, each of the actions you take results in more Paragon or Renegade points, allowing you to make unique dialogue choices further along you go in the story. They're crucial to gaining the loyalty of your party members. As I mentioned in the opening moments of this video, Mass Effect 2 progresses the series storyline, but not in the way you initially think. I'm intentionally avoiding spoilers here if someone's never played the game before, but Commander Shepard finds his or herself no longer working with the Alliance. Instead, Shepard is in the Elusive Man in Cerberus's employ, an organization whose goal is just to advance humanity. The Elusive Man is the only one taking the Reaper threat seriously, and Commander Shepard knows taking down the Reapers must be done. The enemy of my enemy is my friend, right? Right? This definitive version of Mass Effect 2, found in the Legendary Edition, is bursting with characters to love and hate, exciting locations to explore, and some interesting implications leading into the trilogy's final part. In particular, the Lair of the Shadowbroker DLC is a must-play along with Project Overlord. You won't run out of galaxy to save and bad guys to punish, or help, whatever you want to do, of course. The first Mass Effect is a mysterious adventure through space, but Mass Effect 2 is an exciting action movie with intrigue, romance, and incredible set pieces. Mass Effect 2 is the perfect sequel, and in my opinion, easily one of the top RPGs of all time. Who's your favorite character in Mass Effect 2? Who did you romance? Male Shepard, female Shepard? Let me know down in the comments below, and we'll see you again next time.